From extremely fast rides to rides that move backward and eerie rides in total darkness, this video features 10 dangerous and scary Disney rides. Number 10. Test Track. Challenge yourself as you navigate a circuit of tough terrain and tricky hazards. There are straightaways for fast travel, switchbacks that can be used even when it's raining, and slopes that are up to 3 floors high and can be used to race to the top. All of these exciting, exhilarating, and adrenaline-pumping aspects are given at Test Track. It's advised for the hardiest thrill seekers who adore cars and intense speed. While it's true that Test Track isn't very terrifying, it is in fact the fastest ride in all of Walt Disney World. The ride's final segment is really rapid, so keep that in mind if your youngster has a low tolerance for speed. Speed is a no-no for me. Jeez. Number 9. Splash Mountain. This is popular at Disney parks. A log ride with singing animals seems like it'd be fun, but then it turns into a 50-foot drop. You'll get drenched on the ride and your heart will be pumping like crazy. Splash Mountain, found in Disney's Frontierland, is a fantastic way to kick off your vacation. You should probably double-check the height prerequisites. When the temperature rises, Splash Mountain is often the most popular attraction among parkgoers. Is it, however, terrifying? The real ride's theme, the catchy tunes you'll hear, and the eye-catching audio animatronics will keep you in a good mood. Like classic flume attractions at other amusement parks, there's a large drop at the conclusion of this one, so it's understandable if some children are shaken by that. Otherwise, it's a fantastic way to beat the Florida heat while having a good time. Number 8. Rock and Roller Coaster. Some of the visitors call it Aerosmith. Assuming they were referring to the ride and not the rock band itself, we get it. After all, in a matter of seconds, this mostly black indoor roller coaster blasts off its supersonic speed, whizzing by a neon-lit Hollywood and then crashing to a halt. One may argue that this ride provides the most excitement of any in the parks. In only a few short seconds, the rock and roller coaster travels from 0 to 57 miles per hour in the pitch black. While 57 may not seem like a fast number, it can feel very fast when it occurs. The journey isn't scary because it's based on a limo taking you to an Aerosmith performance in Los Angeles. Some children and adults can be frightened by the rapid takeoff, the inversions, and the total lack of light. If this is how rock stars really have to live, then count us out. The only thing that'd make this idea better is if Aerosmith took golf carts to their shows. If you thought these rides were dangerous and scary, now we're gonna take a look at rides with terrifying supernatural presences, rides where pirates shoot at you, and rides that travel backward. Number 7. Haunted Mansion. The Haunted Mansion is likely at the top of your mind when you think about terrifying rides. This ride was made to be scary, and it goes further than most haunted attractions. The ride's motion isn't frightening, but the images are undoubtedly terrifying. Younger children could be frightened, but preteens and teenagers probably won't be. Sure, this old-school Magic Kingdom favorite has haunted in the title, but most guests adore it for the kitsch and casual rhythm. However, for a select group of guests, it retains its eerie atmosphere. One passenger says that their biggest worry is that if their car breaks down, they'll be the only ones left on the trip. And for others, it might not exactly be relaxing to be stuck for countless hours at a time face-to-face with an axe-wielding Constance Hatchaway. So, yeah, it makes sense. Number 6. Pirates of the Caribbean. One of the most iconic attractions at Walt Disney World, Pirates of the Caribbean can be a little scary for the little ones. On this ride, you'll get on a big boat and sail through some of the most famous scenes in the history of amusement parks. There's a cannon battle sequence with some genuinely terrifying explosions. You'll look and feel like you're in a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, thanks to the detailed costumes and realistic makeup. Look out for Captain Jack Sparrow, since he could pop up anytime and anywhere. Adults, teens, and tweens generally won't be worried at all, but smaller kids may be. Aside from the usual thrills, this ride has some special effects and decorations that are pretty scary. There are skeletons all over the floor, pirates are firing blanks at you, and you can hear voices that don't belong to anyone. The start of the journey likewise takes place in total darkness and contains a handful of surprise drops. The ride lasts for a full 16 minutes, making it one of the longest attractions at the theme park. Number 5. Expedition Everest. The thrills of a roller coaster and the suspense of a dark ride come together perfectly at Disney's Animal Kingdom's Expedition Everest. Combining both of these, you'll get an extremely captivating experience. It's also recommended that you enter Expedition Everest at night, when it's even wilder and more fascinating. Traveling backward on Expedition Everest may cause some disorientation, but it doesn't flip you upside down. If you get the chance to ride it when it's dark out, this roller coaster is a blast. The talking mechanical toy Yeti that's used to pop out at guests doesn't function correctly anymore, but it still does roar in a way that may startle those who don't expect it. Your children may enjoy this roller coaster if they're tall enough and have experience with similar rides. Number 4. Mission Space. Mission Space, located in Future World at Epcot, has been called a scary and exhilarating roller coaster. Thrill seekers will get a taste of real NASA training for astronauts on a thrilling trip to Mars. Among these is Mission Space, one of Epcot's attractions, which is the only one I never ride. I dislike spinning and any activity that may cause me to feel dizzy, so I shun Mission Space so I don't wreck my day. You and your loved ones are invited to take part in their newest family-friendly expedition to orbit the planet. Mission Space is often thought of as a heart-thumping attraction because it uses a lot of spins and G-forces and packs rides into tight paths. There are 2 distinct versions of this attraction at Epcot. The orange one is the ferocious one. You need to be 44 inches or taller to ride, and it spins and tilts. The green one is more accessible because of its slower pace and lack of spinning. If you have any reservations, I suggest beginning with the green version. Starting now, things get serious. Now we look at rides in pitch darkness, rides with extreme twists and turns, and rides that separate your guts from your body. Number 3. Space Mountain. According to the measured words of one of those who provided feedback, I've never been more terrified to lose my head on a ride. Fear of being beheaded is a surefire way to get the blood pumping. There you have it, that's Space Mountain. In contrast to its cousin at Disneyland Paris, Space Mountain at Disneyland does not go upside down. However, the ride's interior is pitch black, which might be discomforting for some riders. Unfortunately, the riding vehicle only has room for 1 passenger up front, so you won't be able to sit close to your kid. With crazy speed, dizzying changes in height, and a completely dark interior, every turn and drop is a thrilling surprise. This indoor roller coaster goes a mile per hour and speeds through the dark at scary speeds, making it a ride that'll make your heart race. However, some of you may have pointed out that the complete absence of light at such a high speed adds to the feeling of dread. There aren't any terrifying dips or loops on this trip, but you'll be riding it in complete darkness. Being unable to see anything heightens your other senses, making this trip even more terrifying. Your pulse rate will increase because you'll feel as though you're traveling at a higher speed than you actually are. Number 2. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. This roller coaster with a mining motif travels at speeds of up to 58 kilometers per hour and takes around 3 minutes to complete. The Big Thunder Mountain Railroad is known as the park's scariest ride for young riders because of its steep slope and many, sometimes sudden drops. It's a thrilling ride that's fun for kids and grown-ups alike. Some sections of the ride are highly rough and take place in total darkness, which can elevate your thrill to a completely new extreme. Big Thunder Mountain Railroad easily outperforms Space Mountain in terms of speed. It's outside, so it may be less exciting and go at a slower pace. But don't let this trick you, because it has plenty of twists and turns and gut-wrenching drops. It's also one of the longest roller coaster rides because of its 3 individual lift hills. For younger children who meet the height requirement, the Barnstormer's a good place to start your roller coaster adventure. If your child has a good time, you can move on to the Send Dwarfs Mine Train and then the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. At long last, we reach the part you've all been waiting for. Number 1, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror. It's possibly the most terrifying attraction in Disney World. As one of the top themed attractions in the park, the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror will make you feel like you've entered the twisted world of the Twilight Zone. At this traditional elevator drop attraction, the emphasis is firmly in the fright factor. You won't know what to expect when the ride plummets and then flies up at breakneck speed in a seemingly random sequence. One of the outcomes could be that your stomach ends up on a separate floor from the rest of your body. When working at this Hollywood Studios attraction, the cast members are encouraged to act as eerily as possible, which fits in with the overall atmosphere. Some respondents found it so terrifying as children that they avoided it until they were adults. As you fall into darkness, you feel your stomach drop and your heart beat fast like nothing else. Whatever the case may be, thrill seekers will find it terrifying. The Twilight Zone Tower of Terror is one of Disney's scariest attractions because it has a free-fall drop, a feeling of being weightless, and multiple launches. Enjoyed the video? Now watch this one.